All right, let's get right into it here. Market is up about 0.9% on the S&P. Looks like Nasdaq did a little slightly better. Semiconductor led the way. We got biotech and banks. Banks been actually holding up rather well in the last several trading sessions compared to the S&P or the Nasdaq and semis. Nvidia is up 4.3%. Tesla continues to tank here. Some of these crypto mining stocks are up quite a bit. I know Riot and MSTR has been lagging heavily today. Is up 23% on Riot. Gold silver is down today along with the VIX here. So looking at the spider 65-minute chart, as you can see, we actually broke above this falling resistance here. This is the first time we're seeing this falling resistance getting reclaimed to the upside in about 10 days or so, right? Ever since this down gap happened, right? There's a down gap. Bulls trying to go up and fill this down gap. They failed. Ever since then, we've been dealt with extremely hectic environment for the buyers, right? Today, what happened was though, we actually saw that gap up. So you see, this is where we closed right here on Friday. We gapped here, right? It is not a mistake. It is not a coincidence. It is not a random occurrence. When it gapped up right to that falling resistance, we did see that fade on the first hour. Second hour, you see that lower wick here. Bears trying to fill the entirety of that up gap, but as you can see, about 15%, just very slightly, that up gap was not filled. That up gap was not filled, as you can see. So little bit of that up gap remained. And with that, bulls were able to push it up. So you can see the green candle in the second hour with some hammer-like properties. And on that third hour, it finally broke above, right? You can see finally broke above that falling resistance. And then we saw that Marubozu bullish candle on the fourth hour. We continue rally on the fifth hour, but looks like we got close to that 503 resistance. That's the previous swing low, swing high, right? So we threw that evening star candle there. So this is what evening star looks like. There's a bullish candle. There is gravestone doji, and then a red candle, right? We do need to see that bearish candle to be as close in size, as close as this bullish candle, right? Because if it doesn't size up to the green candle, it could actually be kind of like a bull flag. And we saw something similar right here. So you might have looked at this as, okay, we got a bullish candle. We have the gravestone doji, right? Very similar here. And you can see the red candle right there on the third hour candle. So, but what we didn't see was that this red candle sizing up to the green candle. So what happened next day? We gapped up. I mean, it actually acted as bull flag for 2 hours at least. You know, even if we see a bounce here, you know, because bears gather a lot of weapons here. Again, all the moving averages have been, all of them has been fully reclaimed. They're supporting the sellers. We do have a falling resistance coming all the way from all-time high level here, yes, here, right? So you see that's all-time high. That's that recent swing high before the down gap. That's another lower high. And that's why these two trajectory, like a laser beam here almost, they're all going to act as resistance. So you see buyers are swimming upwards on this downstream. And there are all these moving averages, which last time when bulls ran into them, boom, boom, boom. So you see these moving averages, they carry an impressive resume supporting the sellers. And even if we get above those, we got the falling resistances. Even if we clear those, we got boss bear command center here. So we got about 3 levels. This will be level 1, level 2, and level 3. Unless bulls can reclaim and defeat all the levels 1 and 2 and 3, we must continue to give benefit of the doubt to the sellers. Again, just in the current overall sentiment. I'm not talking about the long term and the primary term. Okay, I'm just talking about just current sentiment. The oscillator finally, for the first time in a month, this oscillator has been tamed and under dress. I mean, this falling resistance is making sure this oscillator does not fly. And so for an entire month almost, this oscillator was not able to stretch its wings. But for the first time today, with the help of that bullish divergence, bulls found a little bit of weapon here. So as you can see, we got the low, and that's a higher low on that oscillator. And that's a definitive clean higher low, right? On the price action, we got low, lower low, right? The lower low on the price action, higher low on the oscillator. That's what we call bullish divergence. With the bullish divergence setup, with the gap that wasn't fully filled, we clear the falling resistance, the oscillator breaking out. They had a good setup for a continuation. Perfect. If this was a bull market, overall bullish sentiment, we're not going to see, with this kind of setup, last 2 hours of little fade like this. We won't see that. We're seeing that it closes kind of weak. It's because we're overall in a downtrend sentiment. They need to dodge a down gap. Up gap will be better, and then just quickly make a run to about 507, 508, quickly retest, and we're probably gonna fall back down. That's sort of the, what could potentially happen depending on how this market opens in the morning. If we fall back down, if the gap gets filled, if this rolls back over, we're coming back down to retest 493, and how quickly things can get ugly. Just keep in mind, overall sentiment is bearish. If we see a pop, 508 is probably where bulls are going.
Perfect.